So now this is just going to be a quick video. We're going to use these LEDs to demonstrate voltages, and I got a few voltage related questions recently, and it takes a little while to understand voltages, so hopefully this helps out a little bit. This isn't answering any of the questions specifically though, just voltage in general. So we have 4 LEDs on the left side here, so power is the same on both sides. You can see we got those jumpers to make sure the power on one side is the same the other. And 1000 ohm resistor, because we're going to get up to 12 volts to the long lead, the anode, short lead, the cathode is going to ground. For all of these, they are parallel. They're wired independently right there, so the power supply powers them independently. These 4 LEDs are in series, so you can see they got one resistor, a much lower value resistor, 220 ohm resistor going from positive supply to the top LED there, the anode right there. And then its cathode, remember you got to put it in the right direction, short lead is to the anode of that LED. Cathode to anode, and then cathode to ground right there, to the negative supply. So let's get to the voltages. Red LEDs need about 1.5 volts approximately before they start lighting up at all. Technically they need about 2 volts across them before they really light up. I didn't mean to go to 2, I meant to work my way up. So you're going to see somewhere about 1.5, and I've been finding about 1.6. You can see that LED start lighting up a little bit. That one up there, this one's probably newer, and that one used more, and so it doesn't get as bright anymore. Completely brand new one would probably get even brighter. So we're 1.7 volts, 1.8, 1.9, and then 2 volts. So the red LEDs lit up. Blue LEDs need more voltage. They kind of start lighting up approximately 2.5 volts, but really they build up about 3 volts across them. So you need about 3 volts before they really light up. So we'll go up increments again, and looks like about 2.3, a very faint glow sometimes, and maybe not. There we go, but 2.4 you can definitely see. This one appears to be the newer one, gets a little bit brighter, but in any case, once we get to about 3 volts you can see that they're lit up fairly well. So I don't have the light very bright. I dimmed it down, I'll make it brighter. That makes the LEDs look a little bit dimmer. But in any case, there's about 2 milliamps of current total going through all 4 of the LEDs. So they're splitting up that current. So blue LEDs have a little less current, even though they're brighter. They are just naturally brighter. A little less current than the red LEDs, but on average we got somewhere approximately, that's 2 milliamps, approximately 0.5 milliamps through each of them. But in any case, main takeaway is we saw they need different voltages. These 4 series LEDs aren't even lit up. They are red LEDs, so it's going to be about 1.5 volts before they start lighting up. We exceeded that though. Problem is they are in series, so the voltages are going to add up. It's going to be about 6 volts before any current goes through those LEDs. There's probably a little bit trickling through technically, but for the most part you won't see any glow till approximately 6 volts. So there you can see the front one is lit up a little bit, so a little bit of current's trickling through all of that, and the front one's probably the newest, and so it's probably creating the most light. Completely brand new one might light up even more. So all this current that you see there is pretty much these LEDs together. They probably each have about 3 milliamps approximately going through them. We'll pluck the blue one, and there you can see about 2 went down, probably about 3 will go down for this one, a little bit more, because it has a little bit more current going through it. We'll pop that in. So, in any case, a little trickle is coming through there, but pretty much nothing. We're just starting to get to the point where we'll conduct. And 7, there you can see we got it lit up. So I used 1000 ohm resistors here, because we're going to go up to 12 volts right there. And so current rose rapidly per voltage on this side, because we have a lower value resistor once we got to a voltage where they will start conducting. If we pluck any of them, no current's going, and we can see how much it went down. So 0.37, I think probably about 15 milliamps, something like that total. Not going to do the math in my head, but somewhere close to that. And so in any case, the main takeaway was this circuit won't even work with 5 volts. The other ones are doing okay. They'd be brighter with lower value resistors, but then you couldn't go higher. You could use a 220 ohm resistor, but you wouldn't want to go higher than 5 volts with a 220 ohm resistor. but as you can see, they're plenty bright, at least for this demonstration right there. 1000. This won't even light up at 5 volts, so you definitely need more than 5 volts. And so there are voltage boosters out there though. I have some that specifically take 5 volts and output 12 volts. So it takes more current at 5 volts than you're using at 12 volts. It converts current to voltage, but it does boost the voltage. Now we get to 1 volt, and there are voltage boosters out there. And there's some simple circuits out there that you can do it yourself. They're not efficient, nowhere near as efficient if you have a higher voltage, but you can take 1 volt. Let's say you have a really old battery, a bunch of old batteries or something, and you want to keep using them until they're completely dead. There are some voltage boosters that will take 1 volt and output a higher voltage, you know, maybe even up to 5 volts or something, where these will get plenty bright. But again, they're more expensive and whatnot. So there are options out there, but for the most part, if all you have is a voltage supply and you have a load that needs a certain voltage, if that voltage supply doesn't get as high as that voltage, it's not going to do anything for the load at all. As you saw, those LEDs needed, you know, even 6 volts really didn't do anything. We needed higher. So 5 volts definitely is worthless. So in any case, for those of you that were trying to understand voltage better, hope that helped. Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out the links down below, and check out the videos posted on the screen. That would help a lot. I'll see ya in the next video.